Exactly right, and considering the traffic out this evening, it's definitely of some concern here. Now, it would be great if he slowed down slow enough where they maybe could contemplate. Oh, right into the back of the semi! He slammed right into the back of the semi truck, into the center divider, lost control of the vehicle, and now they are going to have to execute a felony stop here, assuming he is conscious behind the wheel of that pickup truck. Again, a very serious crash as this pursuit comes to a crash end here. The vehicle fully disabled after he slammed into the back of that semi-tractor trailer. CHP about to approach the vehicle very methodically here, but they have to do it extremely carefully, unaware of the threat in the driver's seat, and now clearly the front end of that truck catching on fire as well. A very precarious situation and a crash ending here in Elysian Park. We are on the southbound side of the 5 freeway, and they are not even approaching the vehicle. They jumped out of their vehicle right away, but they are now keeping their distance from the truck. They may have to wait for the fire department before they approach the vehicle. We'll see what they do here. They're going to treat this as a suspect who's refusing to come out. They're going to give him instructions either way until they figure out their next move here. There are 3 units on the scene down there. We'll see what they decide to do next, guys. He sped up. I think that truck was starting to slow down. He sped up, almost going full speed. You can clearly see, I mean, look at the damage on that heavy-duty Sierra Denali. Really heavy impact there. Lost control, went all the way over to the other side of the freeway, crossing all of those lanes, eventually slamming into that center divider, and now a lot more smoke starting to come under that hood, come out from under that hood. Almost looked like he was trying to weave around some of that traffic. Then he committed to that one lane. As the truck slowed down, he sped up almost as if he took his eyes off the road, maybe reaching for a cell phone or something else. But once he slammed into that truck, he lost control completely. Ended up on the opposite side of those southbound lanes. You saw some sparks there as he grinded up against that center divider, and now we see no activity coming from that driver's side. We're on the driver's side of the truck, and that driver's side door has yet to open, despite all the smoke coming from that engine. So David and Colleen, I understand from our assignment desk, they're gathering a little more intelligence down there. Again, they have infrared technology, complements of that LAPD airship overhead, apparently able to make out a female driver behind the wheel. Apparently, she is the only person inside of the cab of this truck. Yeah, I imagine they probably, in all likelihood, will come the opposite side, southbound or northbound on the southbound side of the freeway. It, again, would not be surprising at all if she's temporarily unconscious because with that kind of an impact, at the very least, you've got the airbags being deployed, and those are certainly strong enough to knock you out, especially if she was especially if she was not preparing, if her body was not preparing. Again, she was very distracted earlier on in this pursuit, waving her hands and arms out of the sunroof of the cab of this truck. So we're really not sure of the mental state. What is the condition of the driver leading up to that impact? And of course now with the airbag and whatever other injuries she may have sustained during the crash, obviously we'll be finding out here. But again, just worth noting, we have not seen any movement coming from either side of the pickup truck, specifically that driver's side door still remaining shut, and CHP keeping their distance at this point, shutting down all lanes of the southbound side of the freeway. It would not surprise me if they get units in position to start preparing to shut down the north side of the freeway as well. That would take slightly more time to get units over here, but considering what we're dealing with here, in fact, it looks like they have. They've got a traffic brake in place. There's about 100 cars on the northbound side of the freeway, and once this group of traffic passes, the freeway is completely shut down. So you've got a few more cars here, and then they have the freeway to themselves to handle the conclusion, this crash end to this pursuit. Again, they have to prepare for any kind of a crossfire situation. They have a fire on their hands under the hood of that truck, and so for several reasons, they've shut down not only the southbound side, but the northbound side of the freeway as well. Yeah, David, you're so right about that, and it struck me the minute we talk off earlier this evening. I don't know what's going on tonight, but traffic is extra heavy across the entire central area here, downtown LA as well as the Valley. He had quite a bit of room to play with on the 5 freeway, much of his way down through Burbank, but then things got really heavy, and that started to give him some obstacles, both on the southbound and northbound side. Traffic very heavy, and as you mentioned, I'm looking out the window right now, and traffic on the northbound side has already backed up for about 3 or so miles, and that's only going to get worse as you head out of the East LA interchange. That's northbound traffic. Southbound traffic is already backed up to about Glendale. In fact, yeah, all the way back to the Valley. As far as I can see, it's already a little bit hazy this evening, so a little hard to see too far, but it looks like traffic is stacking up very quickly. Now those CHP officers coming around the passenger side of the truck, possibly showing signs of approaching the vehicle here. Here they come. There's one unit now crawling up behind the right rear of the truck, and they're going to try and get a better vantage point through the passenger side. Again, they have the luxury of having a somewhat idea of what's going on inside there because of the helicopter overhead, but clearly it's very hard to see with the naked eye between the tinted windows and that cab filling up with smoke. It looks like that front windshield has either shattered, yeah, it looks like it's pretty much shattered, and just very difficult to see what's in there. Here they come up along the passenger side, the rear looking in there. They've got their flashlights. Looks like they're trying to punch it open. Looks like the passenger door is locked. Yeah, that lead officer using his baton to smash that window, but all he could see is the airbag which was deployed, not knowing what lies behind that airbag. There are three officers now approaching the passenger side door, which is now open. Something came tumbling out of there, and they're going to try and either communicate with the driver or get a better visual on her medical state to see what they are dealing with here. Obviously, that cab filling up with smoke. That engine is clearly smoking underneath the hood of that truck, which suffered some very heavy front-end damage as that pickup truck came slamming in behind a semi-tractor trailer. Now those officers dragging that driver out of the vehicle. She appears to be incapacitated at this time. Unclear whether she's just being uncooperative or is unconscious. I can't tell you, but in any event, she is not moving. They are getting ready to put her, I think, in handcuffs. If I just push it a little bit more there, see if we can get a better idea. She is, that might be, yeah, she's not in handcuffs. She is not in handcuffs. She's being dragged out, and we'll have to wait and see what her physical state is here. But in any event, they are now in the process of clearing the vehicle, making sure there is nobody else inside that truck. Oh, wow. I was trying to make out what that was, and that makes a lot of sense. It certainly did. It looked like the steering wheel. I think you're right about that, David, and you're so on point. I mean, that just gives you an idea of how strong of an impact that was. And you could tell. I mean, the minute she made contact with the rear of that truck, it just came crushing into the driver's compartment there. That, by the way, that's a heavy-duty truck. We're talking about an extended cab with, I mean, it's a GMC Sierra Denali, an upgraded truck all the way around. No matter how you slice it, certainly a rough and tumble vehicle taking quite a beating as she came up right into the rear of that tractor trailer, which obviously is also raised as well. It almost seemed like the tail of that truck was almost eye level with the with maybe the top of that hood. In any event, you can clearly see that driver suffering some major injuries, and now all lanes of the 5 freeway, both northbound and southbound, completely shut down. Here comes LA City Fire, finally able to get into position here. They're coming up, I think that's Glendale Boulevard. Not sure about that actually, but they are coming up on that exit ramp. They'll be approaching here any second. Here's another fire truck coming from the opposite direction. Okay, it looks like CPR is in progress. Right, and this is related to a domestic case out of Santa Barbara. Whether she is the suspect or perhaps even the victim, we have no idea. It's just too early to say, but certainly we can say that this was related to a domestic violence investigation in Santa Barbara. Somehow Ventura County's CHP office tracking the vehicle down and initiating the pursuit over in Ventura County. Again, this has been going on it started almost an hour ago at least, maybe a little more than that at this point, where she finally made her way through the Simi Valley, through the San Fernando Valley, and then ending up here in Elysian Park, which is where we've come to a crash end here. Is that what it was? Oh, gotcha. Oh, you're right. You're right. Unless she took it off. But it doesn't look like it.
Put him into areas like Boyle Heights, eventually East Los Angeles. But because this is a pursuit that started north of here, closer to the Castaic area, there's a possibility that he may hop off the freeway at any point and U-turn and head back that way. And the only reason I say that is just in covering pursuits. Oh, right there. He just collided against that big rig. A major traffic accident. That's the pickup right there. The big rig continued on and is pulling over right now, but this is an incredible crash here on the southbound side of the 5 freeway at Main Street. We're in the Boyle Heights area. You can see that the vehicle is actually smoking now, and I unfortunately have not seen any movement just yet from the driver. We hope he's okay, and the CHP is now getting slightly closer to the car. You're going to see them parked right behind him, but this is still a very dangerous situation even for them, because they don't know if this is if there's a possibility that the person could be armed, for example, so it's difficult to approach.